harm. I am Supergirl.
Hey guys, just finished watching Supergirl, Season 4, Episode 8, Bunker Hill. This episode was kind of interesting. It was a really interesting episode. The ending is amazing, but I'm going to get to that at the end here. So we see this episode kind of deals a lot with kind of Kara and, deals a lot with kind of Ben Lockwood and Manchester Black and their kind of beef throughout this episode. And I kind of like the way things were going with all that. And how things are kind of going with as to how they kind of figured this all out. And I think the interesting idea having this Manchester Black character, he's very much, I'd almost say Punisher, but not, I think he's not as dark as Punisher. He's very much, maybe he's not as dark as Punisher just for, for the TV and stuff. He's not as dark as Punisher, because Punisher would get straight up torture people, which, yeah, he did, but we didn't really see too much of the torture because it's, network TV and stuff. But he's more like of a Wolverine character, more dark like that, where he's not just out there just to completely kill for no reason, but, which is more on Punisher, he just doesn't care anymore, whereas I think Wolverine, I feel like he would care a little bit, a little bit more than Punisher would before killing, just there's a little bit more of a line, right? The line is a bit better to cross, and it's actually pretty interesting. I kind of forgot about this episode. I see it here on IMDb, but it's directed by Kevin Smith, and there's nothing really here kind of does anything here. I think it'd be interesting to see as to the ending. Did he get to do it and know anything about that and stuff? I think that would be really cool. Does he know anything about the crossovers and stuff? So they do set up the crossover at the end of this episode, but we'll have to wait and see as to where things go there. So that was kind of interesting there. Brainiac, we see that Brainiac here in this episode, he knows Nia from the future and stuff, but he lets people know that he knows her, yet he also, doesn't want to tell them too much. And I think that's interesting to see as to kind of, I think it would have been cool to see if we had more other Legionnaire members just to be like, why is he, how does he know what information to reveal and what not to reveal, Is he able to calculate all the different effects that this would have in his head as he reveals information, and see where the possible futures could go with different stuff, and I think that could be interesting to kind of play with that. Especially with, this whole episode, especially during this episode, we have a part with him where he when he goes into Nina's head and stuff and watches her dreams, he actually reverts to his regular self, right, his blue skin and the white hair, which is interesting with that. You have two characters, Brainiac and John, who are both hiding this whole time, yet this whole season, the whole theme of the season is to, is about aliens and refugees and stuff and being open and stuff and not hiding themselves. They had these image inducers and now they're slowly starting to kind of not hide about them. Now they're going to hide back because of where things are going, but it just, we need to explain it as to why they are hiding, why is Brainiac hiding, I know he looks different and all that stuff, but if aliens are open, he doesn't need to hide really, so I think that would be something cool to kind of play with as time goes on. We see that Manchester shows up at Ben Lockwood's house, so that was a really cool fight. That whole thing was kind of really interesting, dealing with that. Him, like I said, being that kind of like Wolverine-ish style character. I feel like this is definitely something Wolverine would do. Obviously, it would be something Punisher would do, but Punisher would go even further and wipe out everyone, right? But I think that's really cool to seeing that, and I kind of like as to where things are going to go with that, and hopefully we get to see a lot more of Manchester, even though that he's locked up in prison and stuff. I think that'll be cool to kind of see a lot more of him there. We see Nina kind of uses her power. She gets like a flash, I guess, of about to be shot, and then she kind of uses her powers to kind of, kind of muscle memory, kind of a reflex type thing, and she ends up dodging the bullet and, using it to get out of the handcuffs and stuff. And I think that was kind of interesting with that. And it was cool seeing Brainiac and Carl kind of fighting in the smoke of all that, while they were trying to fight without revealing that she's Supergirl and stuff. And I think that would have been something interesting to kind of play with there, and I kind of like as to where things are going to go with that. We see that, we see Kara kind of finds out that, they find out Avery and Liberty's identity and stuff. That was kind of cool dealing with that. And John is kind of, throughout this episode, trying to find Manchester the whole time, and that he realizes that the only way to stop him is to kill Manchester, but he doesn't do it. He refuses to go that far, and I think I like that. And it was really cool seeing later on, we see Supergirl, she's covered in nth metal, and she's been hit by a moondust grenade type thing, which weakens her, and then she picks up the entire building, entire factory, nth metal factory, and I think that was really cool seeing him do that. Although when she was trying to struggle and stuff, and the whole place was shaking, it's like, why didn't Ben Lockwood just shoot there? Like, it took her, let's say, 30 seconds to build up the energy enough to kind of pick up the building and not lock it down. It took her 30 seconds, maybe even 40 seconds, right? bullet travels a lot faster than that. He could have just pulled the trigger, and that all you need is like 1 or 2 seconds, right? Maybe 3 seconds to really pull pull the trigger for him to, you know, register. Oh, she's trying to stop me. Let me just hurry up and do this, you know? Like he just stood there holding his hand there for no reason, and it's like, why would he not just fire? You know, he's Ben Lockwood. You know, of course he's gonna fire. He just threatened his wife. He did all that stuff. Now maybe he doesn't want to do it in front of his wife and stuff. I could see that, but he really didn't play as to kind of. He had an opportunity. He had a lot of seconds to kind of shoot him. He could have shot. He could have emptied his clip out there before Supergirl even picked up the building. I'm talking from the second that she started, pushed her hand up and started rumbling the building. That rumbled for like a good, 30 seconds, 40 seconds before she picked up the building and actually dropped it to stop him from doing that. So he could have emptied, the whole magazine in Manchester, and why didn't he? Now, it would have been better if they had played it a bit more with, with his wife pulling him, telling him not to, and that, she's kind of trying to stopping him, and that plus Supergirl shaking the building would have made more sense together rather than just him. Like he had a shot and he didn't take it. Why? It didn't make sense as to why there. I understand maybe he did not want to do it in front of his wife, but the emotions of that situation should have overcome him, and he probably would have shot him there. So we see Ben Lockwood goes to jail, and then we see Supergirl. She goes to. We see Supergirl. She goes back to the DEO, and the president's there, and he asks her who she is, because Lockwood brings that up, and she refuses to, so he fires her from the DEO. And I think that's going to be interesting to see as to where things go with that storyline now that she's no longer working at the DEO. How is that going to change, her working relationship, which even a paid asset there, how that things are going to go with that. I think I like that idea, and it's like, and hopefully she kind of puts her foot down with that, because that's the thing that I really don't like about with this version of Supergirl, is like she has, I understand she has to kind of agree and work with the president and stuff like that to not seem like to gain the people's trust, the people of America, their trust and stuff, but at the same time, if she says, if the president tells her to do something she's not, not really doesn't like, or if Colonel Haley tells her to do something she's not really like she did a few episodes ago, like, don't patrol this area. This is not where you patrol. You're supposed to patrol here. Don't disobey my orders. And I think she should that's where she'd be like, you're not going to tell me how to save this people. We're working together to share information, to help each other. We're not, you're not telling me what to do. We're just here to help each other, And the only person who tells me what to do is Alex, not you, type thing. And I think that should be something where she kind of needs to put her foot down. And I'm glad that she didn't reveal her secret identity there, because that would have just that would have made me mad if she had done that. And I think that's something that's, having Kevin Smith obviously directing this episode was something that probably he would have put his foot down for, that he would have voiced his opinion. I imagine he wouldn't want Supergirl to just give in to that. I mean, she has these superhuman powers, that's the whole point, is that she can be truth, justice in the American way and all that stuff, and but yet, but truth and justice, are first before the, everything. So I think that's really, her beliefs are on everything. The whole reason why Superman doesn't work with the DEO is because they had so much kryptonite, right? Then he took it away and stuff, but. So I think it's going to be cool to kind of see as to where things go with that, with their relationship. But I like it. She's keeping her foot down. And hopefully this story doesn't build up to her letting her secret identity out. Because that would not be, I would not like to see that. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing it, if they have plans to undo it, but it's very cheesy for them to just kind of, here, let's put out Supergirl's identity out there, and then kind of and then have her something that resets everything and everyone forgets about it later on. That would just kind of be... but we'll have to wait and see as to kind of where things go with that. But I like seeing her put her foot down and just asserting herself, being like, no, So I think if they start, if she gets in their way, like maybe, she's trying to stop someone and the military tries to stop her, or the president or the DEO is tasked to not let her do something, and she's told not to do something. I think that's where I'd love to see her kind of put her foot down, even if she just kind of, because all she has to do is if they try to get in her way, or if, maybe they do something she just doesn't agree upon, I think it would be interesting to see kind of, especially with this president being a little bit more, going for the human side rather than the alien side. maybe she sees, if they could see, maybe she has a bunch of them all with their guns and just heat up all their guns, right? And they destroy their army, right? And now, but she still has, Alex working there. So I think that would definitely going to be interesting to see. It's kind of how things go with that. She's going to work together type thing, and I think it would be interesting to see that, and if you're going to do anything, like, because I guess the only power they have over her is that even if Alex keeps trying to work with her secretly, they could fire Alex, that's the only power that they should be able to have over her. And even that, that should be the only thing they have over her, because I'd like to see her kind of be more assertive when it comes to this and be like, no, I know you're the president, but I'm still Supergirl, type thing. And I think that's something I'd like to see her kind of do that part, and kind of, the reason why, there's a whole reason why Superman and Supergirl don't just become police officers or join the military, or even just join the DEO as a young kid and only do that full time, right? They could have done that, Clark Kent could have gone and become became a police officer to fight crime. There's no better place to save people, as a criminal. But it doesn't want to be. He wants to do it on his own terms in his own way, and that's the kind of the part that they need to keep with this. And having Supergirl working with the DEO is interesting. Partnering up, so that it looks like so that she has their trust and all that stuff, and teaming up when they need to. But it's a team up. She doesn't work for the DEO, and I think that's something that they need to kind of go back to, and I think this is where they're going to go back to with this storyline here. So getting into the 90s, it's so cool seeing everything. I think we saw Green Arrow from Smallville. He looked like he was there. There's all kinds of different costumes there. It's one of those things that's I just going to go back and watch and check it all, see who's in that clip and stuff. I'm so excited for this. I was surprised that there wasn't tune in next time and type of thing. We didn't get the title Elseworld or anything like that. And also be interested to see as to with a Flash and Arrow, they're also going to have their 8th episode this week. Are we going to get the same clip at the end? That would be kind of, I would do that. I would just have the same clip, or we get different clips and everything from different parts, right? But I think the same clip would be kind of interesting, especially for the Flash. This clip is probably going to be on the Flash, because if you're watching the Flash, you know who John Wesley Shipp is. If you're only watching Supergirl, then you might not know who John Wesley Shipp is, right? If you're only watching Arrow, you might not know who John Wesley Shipp is. But if you're watching the Flash, you know exactly who it is and you recognize him. But so I think that's really going to be cool to see, is kind of where things go with that and how many characters on that. So is that saying that Smallville was on the same Earth as John Wesley Shipp's Arrow, as John Wesley Shipp's Flash show, which I guess would make sense, because in Smallville they did have Flash, but they had Bart Allen and not not Barry Allen, which that's who John Wesley Shipp played. He played Barry Allen, which I would definitely recommend. I think it's really, and I'm glad I already did it. I did a while back before the Flash started. I had binge watched the John Wesley Shipp show, and there's only a season of it, so it's not much to get into, and they're 20-minute episodes. They're a half-an-hour episode, so without commercials, they're 22 minutes. So it's really fun. I'm really glad to see that, and I'll probably be watching one of those. I think it's going to be interesting to see who else we get to see in this crossover. It would be cool if we had saw, Mark Hamill, put him in his original costume too. But I'm assuming he's busy with the Star Wars stuff, so we'll have to wait and see as to where things go there. But I'm super excited for the crossover. I cannot wait for that. It looks so good. Can't wait. So let me know what you think, guys, about this episode in the comments below. What gets you most excited? Anything that I missed in the teaser at the end of this episode for the crossover, and what gets you most excited, and what do you think about all these points that I talked about? And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
I'm Captain America, here to talk to you about one of the most valuable traits a soldier or student can have.
Subscribing.
Sometimes
subscribing
is the key to victory. Sometimes it leads to very little, and it seems like it's not worth it. And you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing. How many more of these?
You're still here.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Peace.
It's over.